Scribble Jam was like right before my time, man. Like the last one was in like '03 or something. So I missed like some of the really big iconic jams that happened in Michigan. But in like 2006, the scene was heavily influenced by collegiate breakers.
So now you're from Grand Rapids. That's the home of Mayweather too, isn't it?
It is, man. Whoa, not many people know that. Not many.
Yeah.
He doesn't claim it very much anymore. But
He's so Vegased out at this point. You rarely hear the Grand Rapids story, right? But
everyone.
but who would you say were the architects in the Grand Rapids scene? Either when you were coming up, or even maybe if you know the ones before you.
Yeah, man. So for breaking, I would definitely say the Grand Rapids City Breakers. They were like the number one kind of squad. There was a dude named Cooley C who brought a lot of info around, and he was one of the few dancers that actually like continued to stay around and kind of stay relevant throughout, even though like his time had passed. There was only a few of them that did that. So for breaking, I would say he was definitely one. As far when I was coming up, there was a big promoter who was also an MC. They were a part of a group called La Familia. He goes by Mike G, and he was one of like the MCs that would bring in a lot of the underground shows. Like Grand Rapids is a small city, man. It's it's only a few 100,000 people, so
Wow.
it's not a giant scene. So it didn't take that much to really make a big impact in the city, because it was so tight. We just needed it. The people there were fiending for it, and it was a city that got overlooked a lot of times. People would go to Lansing or people would go to Detroit, but they wouldn't come to Grand Rapids, a lot of artists and stuff. So it took somebody like Mike G to kind of be able to pull in that type of attention. Yeah, and bridge that gap. So he brought in a lot of opportunities too. And there was actually a couple other, like establishments that were kind of some of the people that were like bringing a lot of these artists and helping the hip hop community thrive around that time. There's a theater called the Wealthy Street Theater.
The Wealthy Theater is Grand Rapids' local movie theater and performance center. Since 1998, it has been a host to nationally touring music groups, local theater performances, and a variety of community events. Today, the Wealthy Theater is not only a landmark community treasure with historic significance, but a pioneer in the infusion of technology and traditional theater. Underneath the elegance and classic sensibility that defines Wealthy Theater, there is a matrix of new technologies. The theater is completely digital and outfitted with cameras and microphones for concerts, theater and comedy troupes, speakers and lecturers, and so much more. Experience all that Wealthy Theater has to offer. And bring a friend. Be surprised by the Wealthy Theater.
That had a lot to do with a lot of hip hop events and local community events, and they were one of the first venues that like really opened their doors to everyone, because Grand Rapids, West Michigan, it's a very old mindset, right? It's a very old school mentality. And so a lot of those venues, especially around in the earlier 2000s like that, they weren't all open-minded to just bring in any type of event there, right? But Wealthy Street Theater was always about that. And so like it took organizations like that. There was a hip hop coalition in Grand Rapids, and they took a lot of reins too. And then my crew, 616, and in the early 2000s, we kind of became the breaking scene. The squad has our crew has a lot of members, and so we've been around for a long time, and our impact has been able to reach a good amount of people. So once we kind of became established, we became like the only thing for like breaking, and so everybody would kind of come to us. So we kind of got to lead that whole like resurgence of hip hop in the early like 2007, 8 till I'd say 2014, 15 was kind of the busiest time, man. So It's a cool community, but like I said, it's small, so it needed, and now it's grown exponentially. So like the leaders there are completely different now. But again, it's the same thing. It's a few organizations, it's a few great people that are leading those organizations, and it's just being the willingness to just kind of all come together for the
Work together,
good
yeah.
of, like the art community there.
That's dope. Now, your b-boy name is Seoul. Are you actually from Korea, or are you born and raised in Grand Rapids?
Yeah, man. So I was born in Seoul, and then I was adopted as a baby. So I was like 4 months old, and I came here, and I was raised in Grand Rapids.
Okay. Now, I gotta ask, because like it seems like you come into breaking at an interesting time when you think about it, right? So you come into the battle scene, the 05, 06-ish era, right? Around that time frame. That's the same time where Korea explodes into the breaking scene, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Were there any like false expectations or hopes put on you just because you were Korean? They're like, yo, we got this Korean kid now. We about to go win Battle of the Year or something like that.
Not quite. Not
okay.
Not quite, because I was like the complete opposite of all of those cats. Like I couldn't do like any moves, bro. I was just like, yo, you got to be able to dance. You got to be able to like have top rock and like footwork. But secretly that was just because like I was like, I don't want to try these power moves. I don't think I can get these power moves. Like I see the end and all these cats from Gamblers, and Expression was huge at that time, and they were, what was it? Darkness was doing like hand hops down stairways and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm not gonna do any of that, guys. Sorry.
Right. They're like, damn it, we got. They're like, you don't want to just try?
Yeah, they knew though. They were like, you little skinny boy, man. You ain't gonna be able to do all that, bro. The squad knew. The squad was okay with me being able to do a couple flips and you know what I mean, and do some top rock. But we were a whole new squad, we all had our strengths and our weaknesses, and like between our crew, it was more than just the dance, for a lot of crews, it was just about the relationship we had and the things that we brought to the table beyond our actual dance ability. And for me personally, thank you, because I don't know if I'd have made it with many other squads, or else it would have been a tough come up for real.
No doubt. I think me personally, if I had that, that little hidden advantage, I probably would have played into it, and you know what I'm saying? Be like, you better watch out. I don't want to show you my hand hops yet, but I'm gonna kill you with this top rock and this footwork first. But just know I got my hand hops ready just in case.
In that tiebreaker, you just wait. I'm gonna have to throw them hand hops.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you my end. You know what I'm saying? Yep, exactly. No doubt.
So that happened, man, for like years, and then soon that changed to our rivalry with Crook's crew.
For more quality content from Beyond the Cypher with Illskillz, don't forget to press the like and subscribe buttons. Also, feel free to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Beyond the Cypher. Let us know how we're doing in the comment section. And to make sure you don't miss anything from the channel, smash that notification bell. We appreciate the love and support. Peace. Until the next episode.